What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. This is raw vlog number 2. So we want to do things a little bit different. We're going to have a section on our page where it's going to be all of our like raw vlogs / Q&A, because the other day we had a good question asked and they wanted to know why we chose entrepreneurship. So we kind of want to give our story on that. You know, Trish will give her take, and then I want to give my take, give you guys a little bit of insight. Maybe that could help you. So yeah, I'll let Trish take it away.
This vlog could be really long, but I'm
Yeah.
just going to put it kind of into point form. And right now, when I'm thinking, I'm going to go back as far as 2004, because it set my mind set my mind into motion, into wanting to travel more, and just knowing that there was more in life. So my first trip that I ever took was in 2004. Yes, this is going to age me. But so 2004, my first trip was to Malaysia and Australia, and that trip changed my life. Before that, I pretty much just got out of school. I was just starting my life, and that trip made me want to travel more. It made me want to meet amazing people, because when you travel, you connect with people from all over the world. You make lasting relationships. And so after my trip, I went back home, and I was trying to find like what other occupation I can do that could allow me to travel the world. And back then we didn't have as many options as we do now, and I was looking, and what I was finding was like journalism, and I was finding like blogging and just writing and reviews and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, well, I can't really do that. Well, I could, because we can do anything we want, but it was something that gave me huge anxiety, is writing. Because for those of you who don't know me, and probably 75% of you that do know me, I'm dyslexic. So growing up in a small town, that was a huge anxiety. I was that kid that got so quiet in class because the last thing they ever wanted was a teacher to call upon them. So when I saw these job opportunities, I was like, okay, well, it's not an option for me. Like anything to do with writing and stuff like that, not an option. So what did I do? I got a job as a medical secretary. I worked that job for almost 8 years. And then I was able to do another big trip in that time period. So I would save all my money, and then I went and did another big trip for 3 months. And then I would come back and I'd have to work. And same thing, it was just like a cycle, right? I knew I wanted to travel. I knew I wanted more out of life, but I just didn't know how to get it. And so I remember there's a few things, which is weird, looking back, is people would always be like, oh, so what do you do? And I would always say, I'm just a medical secretary. I didn't realize I was saying I'm just a medical secretary, and people would catch me and they'd be like, what do you mean you're just? And I was like, oh, well, this is not what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So I already knew in the back of my mind that I'm going to do something better, but I just didn't know, and it just hadn't hit me yet. But I've already known that I wanted to travel. So sometimes things take a long time to manifest. And then another thing as well was, I was sitting eating my lunch at work, and I was in the back, and it was all quiet, and I had a pen and paper with me, and I was just thinking, I don't know if someone was talking about the lottery or something, and it got me thinking about $1 million. And I was like, well, how am I gonna make $1 million? Like, I want to be a millionaire, because I have a big heart, and then I know the more I make, the more I could give back. And with what I was making before, I could barely survive, never mind giving back. So it was a big realization when I wrote that number down, and realizing that it would take me over 28 years to make $1 million. Just make that much. But I'm not coming out with $1 million, because what I made every year was pretty much exactly what I needed to live on. So nothing was going into savings, nothing was going in for my future, because in reality, I couldn't afford it. And I didn't live a crazy extravagant life. I lived the most simple life forever. because I was trying to save money to save for trips or new adventures and stuff like that. And then in 2016, I was sweating like crazy.
You jump in the pool right away.
And then so in 2016, our eyes were completely open to a new source of revenue, a new stream of income, and a new way of doing things. We were in like 2015, we started doing some real estate courses and stuff like that, and we thought like, okay, awesome, like this is where we see our future. We're going to be investing in real estate, and then we're going to have like a residual income kind of coming from the properties and this, and it was okay. And Kyle is different than I am, but me personally, like real estate wasn't giving me any type of excitement. Like I believe I was put on this earth to help others, and I couldn't do that through the vehicle of real estate. Yes, I will be investing in real estate later on in the future, but right now my interests are helping others gain freedom like we have. You know, you don't have to work your whole life for somebody else's dreams and never live your own. I used to always, every time I would come back from a trip, I would be so excited to go on my trip, and then as the trip is coming to an end, you're kind of like sad, realizing like I gotta go home and I gotta work like on Monday, like what? Like I just wanted that lifestyle that I can wake up when I want it. I can, like right after this, we're jumping in that pool, you know, I can just travel all over the world, meet new people, and that's what I've always wanted to do. And yes, it's taken me a really long time to find it, but now that I've found these multiple streams of income that allow us to live the life we're living, we just want to show people. And no, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't easy, and especially like I was saying, I was dyslexic, so I had a lot of limiting beliefs within myself. Like, yeah, if you asked me to go play any sport, bam, I'm in, let's go, I'm gonna catch on. But when it came to something like that, it must have, I don't know, I can't pinpoint a specific time in my life where it really affected me, but reading, writing, like certain things like that, even though I can do it, it just like used to give me this huge anxiety, like, oh, I can't go in front of people, like what if someone asks me to write a report and I can't write a report, and all this kind of stuff. And now it's like, who cares? Like I can, if I really want to write a huge massive report or write a book, I can hire someone to do it. Like we make this one little thing stop us from doing so many things in our lives. So I think just looking back, it's crazy because I could never look forward and see where I was going, but now that I'm where I want to be, I'm looking back and seeing all these little pieces, all these little things that allowed me to be where I am today.
Like you could like connect all those dots and you'd be like, oh, that makes sense. So
yeah, exactly.
It's cool how it works.
But I never ever lost that vision. I never lost that picture. And the crazy thing too, when I look back and people would say, oh, you're just a medical secretary or you're just a rehab assistant, that I knew in my, like I never settled. I wasn't okay with that's what I'm gonna be. No, I was just that, and it was allowing me to get to where I am today, because everything that has happened in my life has allowed me to get to where I am today, and I'm truly grateful for every experience and every person that has come into my life to today. So that's kind of why I got into entrepreneurship. Just things were put into place. My realization of I'm never gonna amount to my dreams of helping others, of, you know, doing amazing things. Like I don't even want to say my goals out loud because they scare me, but like I want to help 1 million people in the next 10 years. And you know, like it's a goal, and I've said it, and it scares the shit out of me, but I really truly want to do that, and that is my goal. So as an entrepreneur, as somebody that's came from pretty much nothing, It's exciting to be on this journey. And I just remember one thing my mom said that will never, two things my mom said that will never ever leave my mind. When I was 15, I was working at a restaurant for the summer to save money. And she said, and then when school started, I was kind of sad. And she was like, well, what's wrong? And I said, well, I can't play sports anymore because I have to work. And she's like, well, quit your job. She's like, you don't need to work. Why are you working? Because when you graduate, you're going to have to work for the rest of your life. I was like, oh, okay. Like, that's kind of how we're raised, right? You're going to graduate. You're going to either go to university and then you're going to work for the rest of your life. And my mom meant it in no, like, bad way or anything. It's just how society sees it. And then so that kind of haunted me, especially when I wasn't happy doing what I was doing. And then another thing I realized when I quit my job and I realized I was free to work for myself and to be able to travel and to be able to do what I love, my mom said, I'm so happy and so proud of you because I haven't seen you happy in a long time. And that hit home because I truly wasn't happy. I wasn't happy working a 9-to-5 because I had no time for myself. I wasn't doing what I envisioned myself doing, and it really hurt. I would literally work Monday to Friday, live for the weekends. If you wanted my time on the weekend, you'd have to be with me partying or drinking my sorrows away because I did not like my life. Now, I don't even touch alcohol. The odd time I might have like a margarita or, something. But before, I was drinking to make myself feel better for the work I had to do during the week. And I know a lot of people that do that. But imagine if you could be happy, if you could enjoy what you were doing. Yeah, go out when you're partying at an all-inclusive, go have some drinks, have fun, but don't just live for the days you get drunk with your friends because you're not happy about the situation you're in. So yeah, I'm just kind of excited for our journey and where it's going, and I'm so glad I was introduced to these streams of income that are just not are they only creating a life, but there's so much giving back involved that it just makes my heart happy. So yeah, I think I answered that, but I kind of went off on a tangent, so I'm gonna let Kyle take over and tell you his story. We can follow up with a little bit of things another day.
Yeah, that's how we want to keep this with these Q&A / raw vlog, right? Just giving you some insight and answering a question, and just kind of we'll focus on that. And with entrepreneurship though, it's like it touches on so many different aspects in your life, and it just makes it grow into something amazing, right? So there's so many different ways that we could talk about, but like I said, we'll keep that for different videos to come, and we'll focus on those topics. But so for myself, the reason why I got into entrepreneurship was I just saw it as a better way of life, and it's really interesting because for me, and we'll have more videos, but I have a different story when I came up and everything, what I did. But in high school, I came across real estate and stuff like that, and that's why we did real estate. We invested in education, we paid for all that stuff, and got properties and all that stuff, right? So we spent time doing that. But one of the things I came across was some big players in real estate. Like I came across Donald Trump, and so I saw a book or something, and then I read something that he making this crazy number every month or something, and about this property, how he leveraged it to a certain point for it to bring him whatever it was, right? There's just so many different things. At the time I was like, what is he, what does this mean? So I was like, wow, okay, that kind of sparked the interest. And I was like, well, there's something different, because I'm here gonna graduate in a couple years, and I'm like, well, go to school, or maybe I should take a look at what this guy's talking about, because I'm gonna go to school, graduate, and then work some job for a set salary. That doesn't make no sense. So to me, school wasn't just in the picture for me. Even when I was in high school, it's just I was there just to work out, because I came from I played soccer. That's where I started. And then I was just there to work out, and I just went through the motions in class basically. I don't know, I guess I cheated my way through school because I was that guy finding the smart guy in class and getting his answers and sneaking paper to pass the test. So I didn't care. School wasn't for me. It's just, you don't need school. It's been proven countless times of super successful people that even dropped out of high school. So that says a lot too. I mean, success leaves
He's
clues.
not telling you to drop out of high school.
No, yeah, but success leaves clues. You can learn from people and what they've accumulated and stuff. So that was the first thing of looking into that, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I didn't work a lot of jobs. I didn't have a job for many years like Trish did, and that was just another thing I didn't want as a job. And I was always an athlete, so I was just focusing on training. I was training like 3 times a day and traveling, and with soccer I was involved in these different teams, so I was really busy. But I was like, yeah, I can't get a job because I need to focus on my sport, right? But then there came a time, I was about to graduate and stuff like that, and I worked seasonal jobs, right? Just on like landscaping here and there, and that was the next sign for me is, I would go to like the yard, like the garage to load up for the day for our work, and the owner was there, and he always comes out and says good morning and stuff. He has coffee in his hand, and then when we leave, he just goes back inside, and it's like, wait a second. I love the guy. I think it's cool what he did. He's built an amazing business, but that opened my mind to be like, well, what the hell? Like, this guy's staying home. We're going to work. We're bringing him a shit ton of money, and I'm getting this little check. Of course, it was a paycheck, but whatever. I don't hate the guy. That opened my eyes to be like, I want to know what he did. So that was the other thing. A job wasn't for me. I was like, I ain't working. So I worked I think 2 seasons for him. For just landscaping. I think I did some snow removal too, and I was like, screw this, like, not working, doing this labor work for nothing, and you're not even really building for your future. So yeah, that was the other sign. And then I started to go into these books and read books, and then the next book that came was pretty much like the first book that started it all with personal development. That's just another topic too, but was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And then reading that, I was like, whoa. And and just everything else, I was just like, well, everyone doesn't know what the hell they're doing with their money. Like, that's what I got from that book, and it just taught me to like, okay, well, I need to take control of that, and as I grow and make more money, I need to learn and do it together. And now I'm married, like, we do it together and just keep learning. So that book opens your eyes. If you haven't read it, read that book. That's crazy. So that started it off, and then everything else came, and yeah, so for me, I was just like, I need to get involved because entrepreneurship is just so rewarding. It just gives so much value, and you can do so much in life, and not only just you personally, living how you want to live and creating your life and setting your schedule and working for yourself, and you just have a lot of purpose. You could provide so much, and that's what I like, right? It's not just going through the motions, waking up, going to a job, and you hate it. And like Trish was saying, and still to this day, a lot of people come back from vacations and these trips, and they're like, they get home and they're depressed. It's like, how does that make sense? Like, we're going to Laos Wednesday. When we come back home, we ain't gonna be depressed. We're gonna be fired up, man. We're ready for the next trip. We're gonna book the next trip. We're coming back to Thailand. It's like back to Bangkok, and just keep having fun, right? So it's like, you should be fired up from vacations, like full of energy. It's not going on a trip for like a weekend and it's like, oh, I could go on the next trip next year because my job only lets me take vacation for this. I don't even know how jobs work, because I don't even know. I haven't spent that time in the workforce. I just don't care. So anyways, I know people get a set time to like travel and shit. It makes no sense. So I'd rather just travel when you want and have fun.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm not educated in that space. So to me, I just want to keep it simple. I mean, I could touch on so many different aspects when it comes to that, but that's what got the ball rolling for me. Is I saw this guy, and it happened to be Donald Trump. I don't care what people say about him. It's just, to me, when I see people doing things at a huge level, whether it be not even him, just other people as well, like they're doing big moves and just amazing things in the world. It's like, to me, I'm just always motivated and inspired, and it's never looking up to someone and from a place of envy. That's horrible. You should never think that way. You should just be humbled and be like, man, what? Like, that's crazy. Teach me something. What did you do? You know what I mean? And that's like the guy that I was working for with landscaping. I was just like, man, that's cool, man. Like, he built a business. He has a family. He could go wherever he wants. He travels, and it's like, dude, like, you set yourself up, right? You're looking out for his future and living the life he wants to live. And I'm here working for you, making me money. So thank you. That opened my eyes, right? I was like, no job for me. And then, yeah, so it's just entrepreneurship, man. It's rewarding. It brings you so much value, and you could do so much good in the world and help other people. So with all those together, it just forms into this even greater thing of entrepreneurship, and everything just gets, snowballed into one massive ball of like positivity. It's just so much you can do. So it's cool. You like it, and yeah, that's kind of our story of how we got into entrepreneurship, and here we are today, and still growing. And I guess that's the last point, would be that entrepreneurship is, when you're in this, it's something that never stops. It's never stagnant. It's never, if I were to just work a job, it's the same thing every single day. You know what I mean? I have no say. I don't run the company. I can't make different moves. I can't try to do this or build this for the company, or start a foundation or give back or do all these things. It's just you're going through the motions, and I think that's why a lot of people are always, complaining and upset and sad, and I don't want this, I want more time. It's like, well, you can't do that. That's why, right? So entrepreneurship is just, it gives you so much freedom, and different things that you could do and provide and offer. So we love it, and it's fun. So you guys always, if you guys have questions and things like that, we want more questions, because this is what we're going to be doing here and there. And when we see a good question asked, we want to do a vlog for you guys and just keep it real and share our experience with it so far. Yeah,
we want to get to know you guys. Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
And with these Q&As and stuff like that, we'll throw one up, on the YouTube channel about kind of more about us, like going just through like a list of questions that you guys might have, and questions we know you guys would like to hear about us, and just so you can know more about who we are and where we came from and what we're about, right? Other than just what we're doing with, entrepreneurship and stuff, as you guys know now. So but yeah, comment, like, subscribe, follow us, and it'll be good to connect with you like always. We love talking to new people every day, so don't be shy, don't be a stranger. But I think that's it. It was a little bit longer, but hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes.
It's freaking hot like always, so we need to jump in the pool.
I'm sweating. I'm like sliding down this bench. I have to keep lifting myself.
So if you guys have any questions, send us a message, and we will definitely reach out to you guys. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye,
Gotta jump
guys.
in the pool.